All right, my loves, I decided to use my iPad because my phone is out of storage and it's just annoying me. So let's just finish. And I'm so sorry about this. Anyway, so the Page of Wands, very excitement energy, but like I said, people can't affect what they don't know. So when I see this card, your higher self really wants you to when you are working on a project or doing anything that you don't want anyone to affect, don't talk about. And if it's not finished, if you don't have a finished product, what is the purpose of talking about it? You get what I mean? Like, what are you doing? So yeah, and follow through with things. Stop starting things and not, not fulfilling, what you start. Because you have that momentum, but you need to keep it going. All right, let's continue. All right, what does pile 2 need to start? Higher self. What does pile 2 need to start doing? What does pile 2 need to start doing? One card. What does pile 2 need to start doing? Where there's a will, there's a way. What does pile 2 spirit need to start doing? What does their higher self want them to start doing? You can have one card, spirit. What does pile 2 need to start doing? Eight of Swords. It was funny, I was thinking that. Get out of your head. Get out of your head. Get out of your head. Believe in yourself more. Get out of your head. Because this is all self-imposed. You have everything. You just need to be consistent. You need to follow through. And not just be so excited all the time, but not everything is going to always be fun and exciting, and that's when you really need to hone in, and continue. Don't, just because the spark is gone, don't stop doing what you're doing. Continue. Consistency is key. Keep that momentum going and stop the negative talk. Start getting out of your head and looking at things clearly for what they are. Ground yourself. I think you need to ground yourself. But yeah, just get out of your head. And also I want to say, watch out for distractions, but I think you distract yourself with negative self-talk or just too many things going on at one time. So you want to stick with one thing and do one thing well before you begin something new, a new project. But I love your energy. I love your zest for life. Let me see if there's anything else. I'm just going to pause. Okay, so let's just do a recap. Spirit wants you to just follow through with things. Don't just, follow through. And this was reverse. It's the Eight of Swords. Get out of your head and get rid of these self-imposing limited beliefs. Get out of your head. Nothing is restricted from you. You can do whatever you want. Only if you think that you can or you allow yourself to. So I think these go hand in hand. I think you really need to ground yourself. If you ground yourself, like meditate, it will help you with your anxiety or overthinking. Because a lot of times overthinking is just because you're not acting, you're not moving. And again, it's not just, let me just wave my wand and just, do what I need to do. do what I want to do. No. It's that initial spark, but also follow through, because it's the spark. A spark leads to a fire. Or you can have a spark and it just sparks and then it's out. It smokes out. And you don't want that. And I feel as though that's what you struggle with a lot. Like, you pick things up and you're excited about it. You might be an artist or creative. I feel like you are. Most people are. And you just get so excited. And then I get that way too, where, you have the momentum, and then, like, once that momentum is gone, you're like, on to the next. And no, Spirit doesn't want you to do it. Spirit wants you to get out of your freaking head and do what you need to do on solid ground. So please ground yourself. And let's do an oracle card for you guys. Maybe I should just record on my iPad. Like, seriously. All right, Spirit, for pile 2. What advice does pile 2's higher self have for them? What advice do you have for pile 2, or what does pile 2's higher self want to say? What advice do you have for pile 2, or what does pile 2's higher self want them to know? All right. Pile 2. What does your higher self, what advice does your higher self have for you? Pile 2. What does your higher self have for you today? What am I saying? Pile 2. What does your higher self want you to know? What advice does your higher self have for you today? What advice does pile 2's higher self have for them? Pile 2, what does your higher self want you to know right now? What advice do they have for you? I feel like it's this one. To the sea. I told you, in a sense, you need to ground yourself. You need to, like, ground yourself. I don't know. I keep saying that to yourself. I keep saying that. So spend time. Let me see. Let's see what they say. I think you should take, if you can, go for like a retreat, take a bath. You want to go somewhere, but you're not going to go somewhere. You're not going to get there by being inconsistent and having limited self-imposing beliefs. You're not going to get there like that. You're going to get there by alignment, by flow, and going within, and really move intentionally. Don't just do things to do things. All right. To the sea, essential meaning, being in flow. Okay, returning to source, recognizing how pieces fit together, and natural pattern of events. So this card reminds you that going with the flow is exactly what you need to do right now. Ride the wave of opportunity formed by perfect conditions. Allow trust and faith to guide you forward as you flow like a river into the sea of life. Like, you're going to get where you want to go only if you go with the flow. You see, there is like a compass, like an arrow, like leading them. Like, you're going to go where you're going to get to where you need to go, but only if you trust and allow yourself. And how funny is this? 7 and 8. So you're on your way. You're definitely making moves. There's movement with this pile, and I love it. There's movement. You could be traveling overseas very soon, or you want to, but you're second guessing yourself. Again, you can do it. You want to do it, but there's something inside of you that is not letting you, go, or you don't feel or see that you can move or get out of where you are, but you can. Nothing is holding you back except for yourself. And I'm telling you, mental captivity is the worst. So if you find yourself like mentally exhausted and just anxiety riddled, meditate, even if it's like for 10 minutes. Because yeah, when someone tells you meditate, you're like, really? But it will help ground you. Or even go for a walk in the woods, or walk around your house, you know, barefoot for a few minutes, and put some music on that makes you feel really good, and just shake it out. All right, that's your message, pile 2. I love you guys, and until the next reading. See, I'm even doing the work too. The Aries stellium have me doing the work, telling me to get my ass going. And here's a funny thing. I'm a Libra, but I have a Scorpio stellium in this 12th house. So it's insane. And I'm very private, but it's time for me to come out of my shell. And I love what I do. I love, you know, giving readings and helping you guys. So this is ultimately what I want to do. And I hope you enjoyed this message. You guys can follow me on YouTube, TikTok, or Instagram. Yeah. Have a great day, guys. Love you guys.